The battlefield park that we have today is really due to the veterans who fought in the battle wanting to preserve and protect this place. So they're the first ones that really memorialized the field that set up basically the national park that 1.2 million visitors still visit every year. So as part of the Veterans Outreach Program, we have artists in residence that are veterans like Nick Collier, who's here with us today, who brings, I think, a very unique perspective and a unique lens through which to view what happened here in 1863.
My name is Nick Collier. I was in the United States Marine Corps Infantry. I was 0311, and I was in from 2002 to 2006. The program itself is really, I think, unique because I don't think there's really a lot of opportunities specifically like this for veterans that are artists. The perspective that I bring is one of experience that's relatable to what happened here. Obviously, my experience is different, but I think no matter what period of time that you're in, if you've served in the military, especially if you've served in some kind of a combat role where you've had experiences similar to, the guy that ran across a field with a rifle in the Revolutionary War, and the guy that did the same thing in the Civil War, and the guy that's doing that right now in the Middle East, it's all location, but it's the same action, right? So that's relatable across the board.
And we've always used art, and we've always had veterans use art to tell the story of the battle. Now, Nick uses mediums that are contemporary to him, digital photography, sculpture.
One of the things I've been kind of inspired by here at the park, it's not just outside in the park, but the museum and the things in the museum. And even if you walk around the corner, you have the display that's the two versions of the North soldier and South soldier and what they would have worn at the time, the typical standard uniform. So kind of going off of that model, I was thinking of making something similar for a contemporary soldier. I'm kind of going for this NASCAR uniform. Off the list of the top 25 most paid private corporations that support the military, I've been going through and trying to find all their patches online and then adding them to the uniform. Here specifically at Gettysburg, you have the military history that's involved with this park. To come here and kind of investigate more and figure out different ties back to the interest that I have and find ways to kind of express that in my own form. Most of that has been photography based, essentially with the box camera that I built and brought out here. The way the camera works is it's essentially it's a pinhole Polaroid, so it's a traveling darkroom that you can develop the photos inside of the camera. I do have an adjustable lens, but my shutter is lens cap being removed. The whole setup is basically getting into position, framing the shot that I want. The carrier that holds the photo paper slides back and forth. That's how you focus. Reach in the sleeve, load the photo paper onto the tray, move that back into the focus position, expose the photograph, and I'll take a light reading to see how long. Usually it can be anywhere from a really quick, as fast as I can move, fraction of a second, up to there's some shots that I've done in the past that are 5 minutes. If it's late afternoon and the sun is already, I'm trying to chase the sun, so it can vary. Once the photo is actually exposed, then I would reach back in, take it off, and then it would go into the developing. I would have a developing solution in here in the first tray, and then a fix in the next. So I would develop it, usually about 1.5 minutes, 2 minutes in the developer. Then that goes into the fix for almost the same amount of time. And then at that point, it's actually, I can open the back door and take the photo out. Yeah, these 4 photos are a selection. I did a portrait day with park members, the employees that are military veterans.
what someone like Nick does is he highlights the differences but also the commonalities of servicemen and women throughout our history. So there's a tremendous amount that is different today than it was in 1863. But there's also a tremendous amount of commonalities of service, of sacrifice, of dedication, perseverance. And I think what Nick and other veterans are able to do is they hold up that modern experience.
Those photos, when I was doing them, I was really kind of more thinking about like the mental, I mean, I have PTSD, right? And the mental aspect of that, this thought of this constant battle with yourself, right? Or like these demons that hide within you that are kind of always lurking around the corner, or you're trying to fend off. They're representations of things that, experiences and things that you've done. And you know, sometimes they can show up when you don't want them to, you know, or you're always on guard of when they're going to come back.